Hello and welcome to another episode of Where's the Logic? In this show, we talk about everything that made sense this week and everything that did not. So let's dive in. Looks like Sheldon Cooper is not the only one having fun with flags.
Sheldon Cooper presents Fun with Flags.
But India is catching up too. On this year's Republic Day, something very unusual happened. Protesting farmers breached police barricades and arrived at the Red Fort to hoist their flag on the mast. After 2 months of peaceful protests at Delhi border, the Republic Day tractor rally turned into chaos, violence and clashes with the Delhi police. The tractor rally was to start at 11 a.m. on Republic Day with tractors moving in pre-decided route near Singhu border, Ghazipur and Tikri in the western part of Delhi. But that did not happen, as they took different routes and hundreds of farmers laid siege to the Red Fort. Now, let me tell you a fun fact. All this while, farmers were getting huge support for maintaining peace in their protest. But overnight, the tables turned, and now the farmers are being criticized for taking such extreme measures to get heard by the government. Bharatiya Kisan Union's Rakesh Takat said that those who created violence and unfurled flags at Red Fort will have to pay for their deeds. Reports say that the city witnessed the protest by around 2 lakh to 2,50,000 protesters, outnumbering the police officials. Delhi looked like an episode from Tom and Jerry. First, the police chased the farmers, and then we saw farmers chasing the police. The Aam Aadmi Party, which has supported the farmers' peaceful protest until now, also accused external elements of causing the violence and, in a swipe at the BJP, criticized the centre under whose jurisdiction Delhi police operates for allowing the situation to deteriorate. So far, around 9 to 11 rounds of talks with Farmers Union have failed, as the farmer leaders have rejected the government's offer to delay the laws for 18 months. ये राउंड ऑफ टॉक्स किस चीज़ पे हो रही है? फार्म लॉ पे या गोवा जाने के प्लान पे जो अभी तक कोई रिजल्ट नहीं निकल पा रहा? Around 25 FIRs have been registered by the Delhi police in the matter, and 19 accused arrested and 50 persons have been detained so far. Around 394 police personnel have been injured in the violence. While the farmers' protest shows how to lose credibility and get punished, our judiciary's recent comment shows how to avoid the punishments. Well, this happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. The first and the very controversial one was when Bombay High Court said that touching a minor through clothes is not a sexual offence. Let me tell you a story. A minor girl was lured by a man to his house on the pretext of offering her a guava. He then touched her chest and tried to disrobe her. When the mother asked what happened, the girl told that a man had held her by hand and taken her to his house, pressed her breast and then tried to remove her salwar. Now, in an ideal world, perhaps this would have been a heinous crime and the details would have been enough to find the accused guilty of sexual assault, but Bombay High Court judge said it was not. The court ruled in the case that grabbing a minor breast would not constitute a sexual assault in the absence of any specific detail as to whether the top was removed or whether the accused inserted his hand inside the top and pressed her breast. The court said that the case would not fall under sexual assault under Section 7 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, POCSO. However, it would fall under 354 of Indian Penal Code, which criminalizes outraging the modesty of a woman. Now, this sounds like a little game we played as a kid. You punch your brother and you just say, "Well, I didn't punch you, I punched your shirt."
मस्त जोक मारा रे ये हंस रे हलकट हंस.
Has it come to that, really? But thankfully, the Supreme Court of India stepped in and stayed the judgment, citing that it may set a dangerous precedent. Now, another news was from Bombay High Court, that Bombay High Court ruled that holding a minor's hand and unzipping one's pant in front of a minor would not fall under the definition of sexual assault under POCSO. इधर सुनो, जब नथिंग फॉल्स अंडर पॉक्सो तो रखा क्यों है, हटा दो ना. और इतना ही नहीं, बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ऑल्सो ग्रांटेड बेल टू अ मैन हु रेप्ड एंड इम्प्रेग्नेटेड अ माइनर एज ही प्रॉमिस्ड टू मैरी हर. एक तो रेप, उसके ऊपर से माइनर और दूसरी शादी. भाई चल क्या रहा है? वेल, आई वुड हैव सेड अ लिटिल बिट मोर अबाउट दिस जजमेंट, बट आई वोंट, क्योंकि ट्रोलिंग से डर नहीं लगता साहब, कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट से लगता है. And let's face it, I am no Kunal Kamra. Speaking of Kunal Kamra, stand-up comedian Kunal Kamra has refused to apologize for his tweets against the Supreme Court, for which a contempt notice was issued against him. In his affidavit that he submitted to the Apex Court on Friday, he said public's faith in judiciary is founded on its own action, not on criticism about it. He added that the suggestion that my tweet can shake the foundations of the most powerful court of the world is an overestimation of my abilities. People agreed with Kamra's articulated response to Supreme Court on Twitter. The stand-up comedian said that there is a growing culture of intolerance in the country.
नहीं कर सकता.
और इस sentence तो complete करने दो. He also talked about the arrest of another comedian, Munawar Farooqi, जिसे तारीख पे तारीख मिलती रही है. But bail नहीं मिल रहा. Talking of someone who allegedly hurts religious sentiments, the Supreme Court has declined the interim grant protection to Tandav's team. Ali Abbas Zafar's Tandav has been at the receiving end of many complaints and trolling since its release. The Saif Ali Khan star has been accused of hurting religious sentiments of a section of the audience. After numerous complaints, the makers released a statement of apology for unintentionally hurting people's sentiment and agreed to snip problematic sequences. So apparently, सिर्फ comedians की ही नौकरी खतरे में नहीं है, but actors की भी. लेकिन एक्टर्स की क्या गलती है? स्क्रिप्ट राइटर्स को ब्लेम करो ना. ओह नो, कहीं मेरी नौकरी भी तो. नो ऑफेंस, नो ऑफेंस. मूविंग ऑन. Following the news, many Bollywood celebrities expressed their views on social media. Writer Mayur Puri offered to sit down with the lawmakers to explain them the difference between fiction and non-fiction. Since the presiding judge pointed that actors had read the script and so could be held responsible, Mukul Chadda tweeted that now people playing murderers would be tried for the crime. तो इसका मतलब संजय दत्त सच में खलनायक है and Bollywood romance king शाहरुख खान सच में डॉन है. Makes sense, yeah. That makes sense. That's all for today. We'll be back with more news and more fun. Till then, stay logical.